AJ, it's that wonderful time. It's classic movie review time.
Okay, right, guys. So if you're joining us for the first time, this is where we travel through the decades. Is it 10 years? Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it beyond? Time will tell. This is, in fact, though, a film released this week in that decade. So, yes, you might be like, oh, this film turns 90 in June. Then maybe in June we will celebrate its 90th birthday. But this is the film's release this week within the decades. So, Nico, please make me feel old. Go for it. Go for it.
So it should be noted, you guys have all clicked on this video. You know what the title is. You know what movie I'm about to reveal. AJ, as always on these videos, does not know the movie that's about to come up. He goes into this blind, so the reaction you see, sometimes he's shocked, sometimes he's more like, yeah, okay. But yeah, the initial reaction is organic. He doesn't know what movie we're about to talk about, and the review, from AJ's part at least, is very, very much shooting from the hip. AJ, to start with this week, 10 years old. Nice and easy. 10 years old. But it's crazy that it's already a decade old. Part of a franchise that we all adore. Back in the golden years when the MCU was good. And AJ, it's one of our... And here's the crazy thing. It's one of our favorite MCU movies. Because AJ, 10 years old this week is Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
That is insane. No.
Yeah, boy.
You know, the funny thing about the MCU is that by the time you get to Endgame, you have this whole thing of, the 12-year journey or whatever year, how many years journey it was. But you still don't think to yourself, and this is also very scary because the Winter Soldier is phase 2. So, woo! Oh wow! That has knocked me for 6. That one has taken me out of the park. This, I mean, look, we'll go into trailer or what have you, but my instant reaction to this was Steve Rogers, Captain America, Clark Kent, Superman are very bland and very hard to get excited for these guys. And the first Avenger proved that. It proved that this is how dishwater these guys can be. But just like Clark Kent gave us a little gem called the Man of Steel, you had this, Man of Steel, you had this little gem here called the Winter Soldier, and it just showed that these guys can have edge, and when they do, it's a thing of beauty.
It's genuinely mad to me, as you said, that this is phase 2 of the MCU, and it's a decade old. The crazy thing is when you think that actually Endgame and Infinity War, they got some years on them now.
They do.
It's mad. But this really, phase 2 especially, phase 1 was very much like establish the characters. They were backup dancers at the time, except maybe the Hulk, but Thor, your Iron Mans, your Captain Americas, they were not on Spider-Man's level. They were not the Batmans and Supermans. I appreciate that's DC. But they were not A-listers.
Mainstay superheroes, yeah.
They were not like they are now. And I know there's going to be some corners of the internet going, actually they were, but it's like, no, they weren't. Iron Man was a backup dancer.
So can I just be real? On the comic book front, no, these guys were never backup dancers. They were mainstays. The Avengers are who they are.
Yes.
As big as the Justice League, if not bigger. However, when Marvel was in a lot of trouble and they were selling off their assets and their stock of the IPs to all of these stars, Sony said, we'll take Spider-Man because nobody gives an S about the rest. That was an
basically
term
that was true at the time.
Yeah.
And we now come to a point where not only have you established these so-called backup dancers as leading characters and done so successfully, you're now taking this universe that you've built and you're attributing kind of movie subgenres to it. Like, what have we always said about the Winter Soldier? It is essentially, a political espionage movie. It's not a traditional superhero movie. And it was so refreshing at the time to see them doing something new and still delivering something of the highest quality. Because let's be real, it doesn't matter how far we go into the MCU, Captain America the Winter Soldier remains one of, to some people, the best, but definitely one of the best things they have ever done.
Easily top 5 territory in most people's lists.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Shall we see the trailer?
No, let's have a look indeed.
Let's do it. Here we go. Come on, baby. Play for me. Here we go.
Coming up on the drop zone, Cap.
Did you do anything fun Saturday night?
Oh, I remember this so vividly.
Dead, so no, not really.
You know, if
He's
you
not
ask
wearing a
yourself,
parachute.
statistics, you'd probably say yes.
That's why I don't ask.
Too shy or too scared?
Too busy. Is he wearing a parachute?
Nope.
No. No, he wasn't.
So great.
They joined S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect people.
Captain, to build a better world,
Oh man, Robert
Sometimes
Redford, I
means
forgot.
turning the old one down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that makes enemies.
Well, I'm talking about elevating it to another level, you know?
Are you ready for the world to see you as you really are?
And your boy Papa Duck. I don't trust
You
him.
know how the game works.
I didn't when this trailer came out.
All it takes is one step.
Yeah.
neutralize a lot of threats
It
before they
was
even happen.
so cool. This isn't freedom, this is
Such
fear.
punishment usually came after the crime.
S.H.I.E.L.D. takes the world as it is, not as we'd like it to be.
This isn't freedom. This is fear.
He said the thing.
You need to keep both eyes open.
Does
Before
anyone
we
want
get
to get out?
started, does anyone want to get out? Your work has been a gift to mankind.
You elevated so much.
Come
I
on
need you to do
now.
it one more time.
Oh, boy.
You're up. It's time.
He's so good. Damn.
This shot. This was the one that had everyone going, you what?
Whoa.
You what?
Caught the shield. I'll say this. Those effects have aged a bit. Those effects do look a little bit aged now. Still impressive. Not as razor sharp as I remember it looking. But everything else about that trailer just literally made me say, I need to see this movie again. It makes me think of a time of, oh yeah, the MCU used to be good, didn't it?
You know, the funny thing about saying that the MCU used to be good, not that people were down in the MCU by this time, but you've got to also remember that this is post Avengers as a movie. This is a point where people have had to deal with Iron Man 2 for the Dark World. You know, there was a lot of stuff in there, and this was the sequel to what was probably the least liked Phase 1 movie. I don't know many people who go first Avengers, my favorite film. So, you know,
Yeah,
you
fact.
look at those elements and you're like, this is. I remember watching it because I'm like, I'm aware that you need to connect the dots in these Marvel movies. That is the only reason. I mean, I remember the trailer.
Are they
making it
aware of that
interesting.
still? 'Cause I wonder.
It's a complete different story now. But back then, it was like, I need to watch this to connect the dots, even though I wasn't a big fan of the first Captain. And again, I remember the trailer to the first Captain America looked like, hey, okay, maybe. But it was very traditional to who Captain America was. This one, I remember watching it and just, you know, there comes a point where you're watching a film and you kind of catch up with yourself and you're like, I'm actually enjoying this. This is
Yeah.
actually good. Like you're now more and more invested than you actually thought. It was such a
No.
fly-by movie to me, and it ended completely different.
You're right. You almost have this out of body experience going, hang on, this is a super movie. Why am I enjoying it this much? Like,
Yeah.
it was weird. So
Yeah.
what would you rank it? What would your score for the Winter Soldier
Right, I
be?
need to answer this question because it will determine my answer a lot
Mm.
more. Is this on a superhero movie front, or is this on a general movie front?
Movie. Always movie.
Okay, from a general movie front, had it been on a superhero movie, I probably would have thrown up the GOAT.
Yeah, it's
However-
goated. 100%. It's a
Yeah,
superhero movie.
yeah.
It's goated. We agree.
However, on a movie scale, it's just because when you have to compare, everything should be rated on its own merit. But
Yeah.
it way surpasses its original. But I can't help but compare it to other stuff, in which case I do have a battle. But I will definitely say 2 thumbs up. It just falls short of a goated level for me as an all-time movie, because I don't think I could ever quote it as, like, if anyone asked me what's my favorite movie, I'd be like, oh, you have, like, yes, if anyone asked me, it's, yeah, you have to see it. But is it going to be in the top 10 list of my films of all time?
No.
I don't think it'll even make top 20. And that's with the highest respect to the film, because I love the film. But that's where, so it's a definite 2 thumbs up, but it can't reach goat status for me.
I'm so happy we're at a place in our movie journey together where you're not only asking questions like that, but then actually saying, yeah, it's not goated. Oh, the joy. Oh, the joy. 7 years ago, you would have been like, "Brrr!" You would have thrown that goat mother flubber up, man. Oh, well, good for you for saying that, AJ. I agree. I echo everything you've just said. I think in terms of a movie, it's highly entertaining. It does require a bit of pre-watching to appreciate the full scale of what it is they're trying to do. Though if you haven't ever watched an MCU movie, it's still perfectly watchable and entertaining. Effects have aged a little bit. It definitely elevates what the comic book movie is above just mindless entertainment. It's got some really, really good, interesting stuff in it. Good performances all around. I'm going to co-sign 2 thumbs up for me. What do you guys think? Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Is it goated as a movie? Obviously, as a superhero movie, it's goated. Is it goated as a movie, though? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But until the next time, we will see you right here on the Silver Screen Dudes for another classic movie review. Bye for now, guys. See ya.
Yeah.